Welcome to Ravens Over. I want to talk to you about things that have affected you in your life, and you may not even know that you're bringing with you. Let's have a conversation. We're all not perfect, but we could try to fix ourselves one step at a time. Like and subscribe. I created this channel for people with different support those who support you. There's a PayPal on top. People remember one thing, there are a lot of times people can't stand in the truth, but you find one that does support them. Make sure they do not fall within a marginalized community as not being in existence. And you know that they are hard to find people that create a channel that caters to people who are different and stand in the truth. And the allies sit back and say, well, I have no problem with other people. Let me just stand in here and learn something and learn. No judgment. Who support you. I love you. Stay in your truth. Good morning. It's so weird. It is now, what's the 13 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. And I want to come to you with this short message and stuff and talking to you. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably saw me when I went out to the store yesterday. I'm looking for some microwave and stuff, so it's going to be very interesting how this works. You could always go and see the rest of this video. Of course, it's on YouTube and stuff. And of course, I recorded it yesterday, which was, it's underneath Hey, so you could basically go on YouTube and see it. Okay? I'm gonna tell you something. What I realize is a lot of us have not healed from childhood drama. Example. Just because a parent has a child does not make it a parent. Just a person that birthed the child. Now some people be like, well, what do you mean, Raven? This child that had a baby, if they wasn't aligned the right way mentally, when they have a child, they're going to line that child up the same way they would line up. So if there was negative, there was positive, they hated the man, everything they're going to store into you if they're not mentally aware of what they're doing. I had a conversation with someone last night. I was breaking it down to them in reference to a mother. Now, I'm not going to be hard on a mother and father because basically everybody does everything the best way they can. But a lot of times, just because they're doing the best way they can does not make it right. Now, the thing about it is, when a mother tells a son, I'll stick with him for a second, in order to be a man, you need to stop showing emotions, stop acting like a girl, so you shut him down from all his feelings. Because that's a little child, they're looking up to you as a god. And you're telling him, you got to be a man. And I'm not saying some of them are men too. I'm not excluding the fathers. But unfortunately, a lot of times the son is being raised by the mother because of her decisions and his decisions that have a child to bring him to this world. Not all cases. But the child sometimes suffer. But I don't want to confuse you. So she has a son. And we'll say fathers as well. They'll tell the son, in order to be a man, you have to stop showing emotions. You have to stop acting like a girl. You have to do all these things. So as a child, basically, even at the age of 5 or 6 or 4, think about that. 4, 5 years old. Not even in 2-digit stages. You're stop being a baby. Stop. So he's learning from you, a God. And you're teaching him to stop showing his emotions. Then he's listening to more things you hear. And through the years you're growing up, the mother, I'm going to stick to the mother because I don't want to confuse you. I want to say the parents, but unfortunately a lot of these stories don't come with the father. And I'm not saying that there's aren't good fathers out there. So if it applies to you, it applies to you. So, because there are definitely a lot of toxic fathers, but I will confuse you. So the thing is, he raised the mother. Mother sits there, become disciplined in her son because the life taught her things that men need to be. You cannot raise the man because at the end of the day, you're not a man, you're a woman. So she's listening to other people inside conversations, and she's sharing it with her son, and she's basically telling him to stop acting like a girl. disconnect yourself from your feelings, which he does, and he actually grows up with that thought of her living inside of him, never got a chance to see who he was, because now the part that was part of him is now living inside of him, of her. You understand what I'm saying? So what she instilled in him is now in him. Now who he once was or who God sent him out to be, it has been tarnished and toxic with the thing of stop. Now as a child, he don't really understand that. Why do I have to be so hard? Why do I have to be this certain type of way? But he's not going to say it because it's a child. And sometimes when a mother gets angry, she'll give you a beating. I'm going to beat you, the slavery mentality, to get you to understand. So what he do is he takes that information, he grows up with it. Then, I'll just say the parent. Then the parents sit there and do this. Okay, now the child grows up, he finds a woman. He doesn't talk, he doesn't speak because he's not showing emotions. Let's talk about the root where it started from. The parent. So now the child knows emotions, he don't care. He feels as though nothing about him seems to matter. Only thing seems to matter is what other people's opinions about him. So he stopped talking about what he likes or what he wants because he feels like when he gets a chance to talk, no one really cares what he has to say. So why should he say anything? Because he's been broken down at the young age of 5 and up. Now when a woman does something that's kind of like emotional, oh, I don't want to, like, what is your problem? He's freaking out. Because he's been taught that these things are not acceptable. He's like, you're crazy, something's wrong with you. Then he gets rid of her. A good woman. A good woman. He gets rid of her. Because what mommy and daddy issues have done to him has tarnished who he was. Now if this woman was emotionally wrecked, he could have been the person he was sent down from God to be. He could have nourished her and built her up and stopped the pattern of generations' pain. But the parent, the root, has destroyed who he was, that he could have been developed with this woman to make her happier and prosper and grow and have a great life. But now he's already tarnished. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want you to understand this. When you walk away from this video, I want you to think about what they've done to you that you brought with you. That have stopped a lot of things from happening to you that could have been possible, positivity and growth and a higher value of who you could have been, but it's unfortunately at the root has stopped you, and you actually took with their negativity and you had transitioned it and made it grow into actually being the truth, which is not the truth. It was their way of thinking. So then all of a sudden when the parent go, I didn't raise him like that. What is wrong with him? Yeah, but you did. So you can't understand where it's coming from. So as a mother or father, you implanted something that maybe your mother and father planted in you, and you basically took your child and actually carried on a generation of tearing the man down. So now he's broken. He doesn't really care. He doesn't care about nothing. He's just like, you know what? He has nothing to say. The dangerous thing you could do to a man is shut him down and let him not speak. Sit him at the table and say, what's the matter? Let's talk about it. Stop telling him to hide his feelings. When a man cries, they be like, yo, he's crying. It's like, oh my God, why is he crying? Because he's a human being. You broke him. Everything he could have been to the woman to make her happier, had a great life and prosperity, you stopped that as a parent. And then he cheats. You tell a man, get a lot of women, keep dating around. You know, you're too young to find a girl. Date around, meet alone. So now, as a parent, and I'm not saying all, you're turning your son into a whore. You take a girl, you tell her, you give her a baby. Oh, plan for a family. Plan to make food, get food. Learn how to be a mother. So you planning her to build a family, but you planning him to be a whore. So you send both of them off into two different directions. Then you can't understand why the man that's a whore can't be with one woman. Because as a child, growing up for the mother, you have taught your son how to be a whore. The same type of man that you upset with for being a whore, you taught him how to be a whore. Now he's not no good for any other woman. Now she's trying to sit up here and create a family, which she can't even build. Because at the end of the day, he made her feel as though he was the one for her. But actually, he was just a cover up for who he really was. And once he finally showed up, she was like, I don't even recognize him, because he brought everything he was taught by his mother and father, and he's passing on to you. It's like a job interview. You get your best, you show your best person when you want the job, but the real you is going to show up after a while. My thing is, look at what's been done to you and try to fix it the best way you can. And when you see triggers, recognize the triggers and silence them. You can only grow if you heal what's been done to you. And I know they want to say society. Think about this. You have the traumas of the parents. You have the traumas of society. You have the problems of discrimination. These are layers that are being put inside of you because the negativity already started. Now, instead of you listening to it, you're taking it with you. You're taking everything with you. It's kind of like the thing, everybody tell you, oh my God, you look really nice. You really, really nice. Oh, you look really nice. And one person say, oh, you look like a bum. You heard nothing. All those compliments, you heard nothing. But the one person said you look like a bum, that's the one you're talking about. Because these are triggers that's been passed down from childhood onto adulthood that we seem to make it manifest to being true. Because as a child, we were taught that the bad things were what we need to bring with us and not the good things. Because when a good thing was being brought to the parents, they shut it down and said, this is not acceptable. You're showing feelings. So you as a child, taught by parents, not even recognizing what's been done to you, not even recognizing why you feel that way, not even recognizing why you're an introvert, why you don't even, or extrovert. Sometimes people find different ways. They just want to stay away from everybody. You find yourself secluded, and unfortunately, through every trauma that happened to you, you're staying ready. You're ready for a war that's not even available to you because no one is feeling that way about you. But when they show up, somebody shows something negativity, you're already on 10. Because you've already been built that way. Traumas are real. Triggers are real. We're real people with real feelings. And when you shut us down, you kill who we once was. Where is the person that was inside of you when you were born, sent from God to this earth? Where is that person in you? I challenge you to find out that young person who did not have a chance of being a greater person because you were shut down by mommy and daddy issues. And God forbid if it didn't work and you end up looking like a parent. But that's a whole other story. But I challenge you. Find that hidden person that's been shut down. And everything that they put inside of you that was negative, I want you to address it and delete it. You got to get rid of it so the real you can finally rise up again. In order for you to rise, you have to delete what's been done. And I'm sure you have not been done fair. I'm sure a lot of things have happened to you that was not fair. You know it wasn't fair. You've helped people. You had people back. You cried with people and they betrayed you. And these things are coming with you. They're coming with you. They're coming with you. All the pain, all the crying that you try to make sure that nobody sees because it makes you less of a person. It's coming with you. Just because you smile don't mean you're happy. But you can start smiling because you are happy. Just something to think about. The trauma started from the parents. And remember one thing about a parent. They was once somebody's child too. And if their parents have triggers and treated them that way, they're only passing it down to you. So what I challenge you to do is find out what they did to you and start erasing it and make sure you can finally start living in your body and being in your truth and finally being happy because you deserve it. So hopefully you have a blessed day. And hope everything that happens for you, be mindful of someone else's feelings when you say words. Because sometimes those words are just passed down or what you've been taught. I know my mother wouldn't say anything to hurt me. Yes, she would. She's only passing down what's been hurt. If it worked for her, don't mean it's going to work for you. And I'm not saying all mothers and fathers are bad because there's some good parents out there. But let's be clear, there's a lot that's not. A lot of these young children and young men and women are on drugs because they got something missing, because they've been shut down. Ask the parents why. Oh, I don't want to hear it. So when you say you don't want to hear it, what happens to that person now? You added more of somebody else's trauma, compliments from you. I just want you to find out what they've done to you and start deleting them. Remember when I say this, I want you to go through your childhood. 4, 2, 3, and up. And when I say this, I want you to think of everything that you pull with you. The lying, the deceit, the discrimination, the making fun of you, you can't. I want you to remember all this. I want you to, every time you see it, discrimination, let me address this, lying, each piece, fix it. It's not something that happens overnight. It is a process. But you only know how to fix you if you've been recognized to see what it is. Okay, it is now. It's 8:26, and I just want to share this message with you today. And I want you to keep in mind that I love you. I'm not perfect, which you already know. I don't do the things of the world because I'm not of the world. I'm just in the world, as you are too. But the way the world has done you has not been fair to you at all. And I'm here to tell you today, I want you to reclaim who that young child was, and I want you to rebirth them over into who it was supposed to go. Because what it's going to do is going to start your growth. And once you start being happy, you could be happy in the house alone. Because you're finally happy and you're free. Free of all that toxic that they put inside of you. That you actually transitioned it over and made it grow wings and feet. And now you transition over everybody else because you created something that was dark from them. And you transition, stop the pattern. It is time for that person that was once here brought by God to start to live and finally become happy. Anyway, have a blessed and safe Sunday. Love you.